And last but not least, he told me he's going to bring it home. Dennis McCuistion.
Thank you. Board President Ledesma, board members, Mr. Christensen. My name is Dennis McCuistion. I'm the proud principal at Orange High School. I would like to introduce Laura Noss, principal architect from Lionakis, and Steve Kendrick from Lionakis, as well as Wayne Romild. He's senior project manager for Beatty Balfour. Should probably get to Orange High School slide. I want to start off by talking about Orange High School's instructional focus to meet the needs of 21st century teaching and learning. You're going to, a lot of the similar themes that my colleagues have talked about. Our focus on students creating collaborative groups, a balanced instruction between teacher-driven and student-driven, students questioning ideas of others, working together collaboratively to explore standards of learning. This picture is a picture of a classroom, that 21st century classroom. If you see the furniture, of opportunities for students to collaborate with one another, to be mobile in the classroom. It's pretty large, so that move about the classroom into different learning stations and modules, and some presentation technology in the corner. However, this classroom is upstairs, and Dr. Sachs stole the thunder a little bit, and I was going to tell a story about the classroom that had to be moved downstairs last year, 2 years ago. And so this is a great classroom, but it is upstairs. And unlike my colleagues in the other schools who have an elevator, we don't have an elevator. And so if we have students upstairs that are in need of those courses for multiple reasons, we have to make accommodations, or they can't take classes upstairs. I want to talk a little bit about Orange High School and the ever-changing environment. We at being able to meet the needs of all students, not just AP, advanced placement students, students at risk, students preparing for a career post-secondary. But there is a changing trend going on at Orange High School with increased enrollment in advanced placement. There's a 33% increase in students taking at least one AP course over the last 3 years. And there's a 30% increase in number of AP courses offered at Orange High School. And once again, we pride ourselves on being able to reach all students, including those advanced students. Like our other schools, we have a strong focus on career technical education. The majority of our students taking courses in the arts, media, entertainment sector, as well as students in the medical health pathways. And I believe we are the only high school in Orange Unified that still offers auto tech. As you can imagine, because we take our cars in for service, the garage or service has changed in the last few years. It's not just about turning the nut and the bolt and changing the oil. There's a lot of technical aspects to auto tech. And these different industry sectors require our students to have industry recognized skills and have access to industry recognized equipment. Unfortunately, we don't have the infrastructure to be able to provide those opportunities for our career technical education students because of the limitations of our facilities. I want to talk a little bit about this is an AP and honors biology course. This class is in a building that houses traditional English math classes. This is an AP biology course. This classroom does limit our students' access to the appropriate standards that are required for AP and honors biology. This is a smaller class as far as numbers, but you see the students in rows, which is not traditional 21st century learning environment, with the exception of the student devices, because there's limitations on how the teacher can organize the learning environments. And let alone, I'm not quite sure how labs are being completed in this class. In fact, we have 4 classrooms in a traditional classroom wing that are science classrooms that would require a lab that do not have access to a lab. AP honors, AP and honors biology, physics, and earth science that don't have a appropriate structure. Some of the limitations, I want to point your attention to that top picture. That top picture is from that same AP biology class that you saw. That's a picture of the water jugs that the teacher has to assign a responsible student so that they can carry the water to the bathroom or get water from the bathroom and then into the drain so that they can have some access to a wet lab situation. Not an ideal for an AP honors or any biology for that matter. We have 804 students that are in biology and chemistry, and unlike the other schools, we have 1 full lab at Orange High School. And that lab's at the bottom. That's the bottom picture. And we've talked about gas, and we've talked about plumbing, and we've talked about all those things. And we've seen the video from Orange High School, and we understand the issues there with the fixtures and whatnot. But I'd like to also point out, when we talked about 21st century learning environments, it's providing an opportunity for students to collaborate with one another. And I believe Ms. Richards talked about the fact that students are lined up next to each other and they don't have an opportunity to look, lean, and listen and work with their colleagues is something very important for a collaborative type learning environment for students to be able to work with each other and elaborate on each other's ideas. Let alone the fact that they still have to use water buckets because none of the drainage works in our 1 lab that we do have. Talking about more room limitations, not just AP and honors, not just career technical education, but as stated before, we pride ourselves on meeting the needs of all students. That top picture is a classroom for at-risk learners, students in need of reading intervention. And we've tried to do the best we can with creating a collaborative environment to meet the needs of 21st century teaching and learning. You see the technology, and you see the more collaborative type space with the table situation. One of the next slides is going to show you what we had to do to make that work. The bottom slide here is a class that is a career medical class, which is our second most attended career technical education pathway. We should have body systems technology there for students to be able to be mobile and collaborate, and they're just limited. And you're only missing 2 tables out of that picture, and we're trying to get as many students as we can into that situation, but there's not much room for them to be mobile and get their hands on those industry recognized skills or teaching tools, learning tools. These 2 classes are also upstairs. Once again, I want to mention that students that have access that need, whether it's crutches or wheelchair, do not have access to these courses, and we don't feel that, and nobody here feels that that's right. So these 2 pictures are also the modifications that we've had to make. That top picture really kind of highlights a little extension that we basically took portion of a storage classroom next to it so that we could kind of create a little bit of a collaborative space in the back of the room, and it makes the space for the technology and to have the collaborative environment in that classroom. I believe it was about 9 years ago when we blew that wall out to create that space, and it was a good $9,000 project just to add a few square feet so that we could provide our students with the opportunity to prepare for 21st century learning. And the bottom picture is the same classroom, just a different angle. Orange High School, we have a motto that's called, we say, make it matter. And I would argue that Orange High School students do matter and deserve access to 21st century learning environments so that they can have access to those standards.